Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a few things in the shop. One of them being this Baja Bug from Faster with Newbern and Cotten. Can't show you too much about that because this episode hasn't came out yet, but I got to finish up some loose ends on this and add some tubing to the front end because we converted this thing to long travel suspension and it's going to be incredible. So this thing's going to rip. We're going to do a little bit of work to the 34. This thing's been in the family for a long time. This actually belonged to my dad's best friend back when I was just a kid, like 8 and 10 years old. I used to ride around in this thing. Yeah. So we're gonna do a little bit of work to that because there's an episode with that coming up on Motor Trend, and I gotta give it a little tune-up. So we're gonna be doing that, and then give you guys a shop tour. For those of you who hadn't seen the Mustang, this is my 91 coupe with a 5.3 liter that's completely bone stock that we bolted a F1A-94 Pro Charger on for an episode of Faster with Newbern and Cotten. This thing's actually really sweet. It's a very nice car. Larabelle race cars put an 850 cage in it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. The welds on it are nice. The way he tied in the rockers to the trans tunnel. He put down bars to the torque boxes to the rear. I mean, it's super nice. So it fits nice and tight where it should. I gotta put the dash back in it, but yeah. I have a lot of engine parts for this thing. I got a new camshaft and everything for it that I'm gonna eventually put in it. It's already got a hitch in the back, or a spot for a hitch to the bumper right there. And nice and tight that is. Mike Larabelle did a really good job. So it's all braced underneath the car. It's all tied together. So it's got Black Widow neighbor haters on it. And it has a bone stock 8.8 rear axle that's on its way out. It's howling really bad, so I gotta replace that next. This has a level 4 power glide in it from Gearstar Performance Transmissions. It's got a yank converter with a trans brake on it, so I mean, it's ready to party. It's got all the ingredients, it just needs the horsepower. So my buddy Eric Yost from Customs by Biggins did all the fab work here on the intake stuff, and I need to add an intercooler because that was the thing that was holding us up where we couldn't turn it up. So I don't know if I'm gonna do the one that goes in between the intake or the air to air behind the front bumper. So hell, I might do both. But there's a camshaft I'm about to put in here and an intercooler, and then we'll take it and have it dynoed. But Pete from Harrell Engine and Dyno, he's getting me a long block together, and that'll make 1,000+ horsepower. So once that happens, we're drag and drive ready. I just don't know when that's going to happen. Hopefully soon. is, our 67 Bug. It's got a small block Chevy from Blueprint engines in the back with 400 horsepower. It's got a little adapter kit that mates it to a bus transaxle. If you've seen the episode, you know what happened, and this is why we mounted the radiator inside the car. So, got that all fastened in there, so it's not going anywhere. We got some giant shocks with long travel suspension. Come up here to our mounts. It's all beef tied into the cage, gusseted every which way. So this thing is sweet. Can't really show you much more about this because, like I said, this episode hasn't came out yet. So, but I do have to do some work on it. I got to finish some front tubes up here because we got the front pretty much hanging. We've got bars welded in there, and it would probably be okay. No, it wouldn't. We definitely need some more bars. So we're going to add it from here to the cage here that's tied into the car, which is gusseted on both sides. It's plated on this side. It's tied into the body over here. So we're going to go from here to right there. That'll give us enough strength. And then once I have those bars in, we can put some diagonal bars and tie all this stuff together. So, but those are the main two. We're going to do that right now. Got the passenger side done. Ties in right here to the top where the shock mounts. So I'll cut around, grooved around to fit nicely there. Comes over here, fits the roll cage to the body here where it's tied in there, and it's completely plated over here. So this should add a lot of strength to that front end. Top bars are done. Well, they're not done. They're made, but they fit nice here around the shock bushing here. It's nice and tight. Comes back to the cage of the car. Fits nice to the cage. So I'm gonna tack these in place on both sides, then I'll figure out how to triangulate it from there. So I need to figure out some kind of bar from either this part, triangulate it up, or the other bars over there, and I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I'll get these tacked in and stare at it for a bit. This should probably protect those shocks. Somehow, at least a little bit. This is a flame retardant welding blanket, so it shouldn't catch fire, but I don't want to get any slag on the shocks, then won't be able to adjust them or get any on the shaft down there and destroy the seals or any of that good stuff. So what I'm gonna do, this one fits a little bit tighter than that one over there, so I'm gonna get this where I like it. And then once I get this where I like it, tack it in place, I'll take a measurement and pull that one up and make it match this side. So I'm just looking for a little bit of an up angle. Like, when I visually look at it, like I said, this is just an off-road Baja This ain't nothing serious. So, well, that's where I try to get it perfect. We just want to get it close. Put it to the name of the channel. Close enough garage. Looks pretty good. Bars welded in. It's tied into the cage of the car. Comes up here, ties into the shock tower. So now I got to figure out how I may put some gussets here, up through here, and definitely got to get one from here down somewhere, whether it's to that bar or to this, not really sure. But way better than what it was. There it is, all back together. Front end turned out good. Had to notch it right there. This bar was into the fender that we added for support, but front end's back on it. We now have long travel suspension. This thing is sweet. It's got a 420 horse small block Chevy in it from Blueprint. This thing rips. This will be on an upcoming episode of Faster with Newbern and Cotten. We've already raced it once, but since then we've came back and added all this long travel suspension. So thank you guys for watching. Unfortunately, I didn't get to the 34 because the bars I put in the Baja Bug took a little longer than expected. But that episode comes out early 2024. Don't miss it. We just shot it last week, so it's pretty incredible. You guys are going to like it. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you next time.